Hi, my name is David Wayne Murray. I got about the outbreak of people's faces and their body of rashes. I can confirm that this is true because I was at the lockup for 14 days. I was the first inmate to actually have this. As you can see, I still have some marks on my face and on my body. Now, it took 2 weeks to heal with antibiotics, and I also had to go get liquid IV antibiotics from the hospital. Now, while I was at the lockup for 2 weeks, which I was refused treatment the whole time by Captain Torville, that's his name, Captain Torville, I was told that I wasn't important enough for the staff to come for overtime to take me out. I mean, not
Can
in
I just
those,
see your face?
yep, not in those words exactly, to be fair, but more or less that's what I took of it. And I also spent almost 3 years in the shoe downstairs by Captain Frankley and Owen Brophy. This practice is used as a punishment. Now, they would tell you this is administrative segregation, that you get full privileges when you're down to the shoe, but unfortunately you don't. You get limited phone calls, you get limited visits, you're locked in your cell 23 hours a day. You have a light on your cell 23 hours a day, which I just recently learned from a psychiatrist that is a form of military torture. That actually the UN actually lists that as military torture after 72 hours. So that practice, I think, is still ongoing at the H.M.P. I'm not quite sure if it is or not. Me and Calvin Kenny, God rest his soul. I love you, Calvin, buddy. You're a real soldier. Me and him were down to the shoe together. We were in our cells for the whole summer, locked in 23 hours a day, with running hot water in our cells, with no cold water. Now, what it took for me to get out of there was I had to contact the human rights, and I had to contact the OCR. So I have a human rights investigation on the HMP, which concluded, and it got me out of there, and also an OCR one. I have a current lawsuit pending against the HMP, which is going to be followed by Gittins and Associates, Stephen Orr. I mean, the conditions inside the HMP are horrid. I can only imagine what the inmates are going through in there right now. I mean, my heart goes out to them. I was just released last Thursday. I mean, this place is ridiculous. And regards goes for disease, I mean, this is not something that's made up to get attention, for the cause or anything like that. Because when I got released, I got the hospital files, I have the antibiotics. Like, I broke out in open rashes. And what they kept telling me was, to avoid liability, was that I was doing hard drugs and that I had these marks on my face when I came in. But when I got the classification, Miss Haynes to print off my picture showed no marks on my face. I
And
came
what
in
weight were you when you went?
225.
And what are you and what were you when you got out?
250 and something like that. So I dramatically lost weight, and that's actually another issue. The diets at HMP, because like if you're Muslim, say I'm lactose, I'm gluten free, they're not equipped to give you this food. You know what I mean? So I wasn't given my right diet. So I had to choose either eat the food and poison myself and get sick, or starve. I mean, this is an ongoing problem for Muslims, minority groups at the HMP. I mean, it's just ridiculous what goes on in there, and I think senior management is where the problem is too. It's the senior management. I think they're very ignorant people. They just don't care. It's almost like this their own sovereign country inside of there, and they can do whatever they want. You know what I mean? And all I hear from anyone I ever speak to is that we need a new jail. But guess what? There's no new jail coming anytime soon. It's not coming. So that's not good enough. So let's figure out a way in the meantime to make the conditions better, first and foremost for the inmates, and then the guards. You know what I mean? Because also, let's not forget, the living conditions had to be better for the guards too. You know what I mean? It's not just about the inmates, it's about the guards too. You know what I mean? And in a new jail, everyone thinks if this new jail comes, then this is the end of all the problems. It's not. It's the mindset.
So how old are you?
I'm 35.
So how long have you been going?
I've been going back and forth since I'm 19 years old now.
19.
Yeah.
Now, so do you feel like, for what we're all standing up for, like with long-term rehabilitation, when you were 19 years old, do you feel that if you had that?
Oh, definitely. I can truly say that the HMP is the only jail I've been to that does not encourage rehabilitation. Because any other penitentiary you go to, contacts with the community is the most vital part of your rehabilitation. Phone calls, visits, letters, and stuff like that. But that's a privilege at the HMP. Like, if you get sentenced to a disciplinary disposition, lots of visits for 15 days, no phone calls for 15 days, no letters for 15 days. You have nobody to reach out to during your sentence. So basically, they're using rehabilitation as a punishment. So you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
crazy. Any other jail, rehabilitation is a right. Here, it's a, you know what I mean? It's a privilege. You have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I never saw a jail like it before in my life, and they wonder why we keep coming back here. The
Mhm.
same people, the same people. But show us another way.
Yeah.
They have not yet to show us another way. And the little bit of help that we do get from the communities, their
Mhm.
psychiatrists or our family doctors, when we come in, Dr. Craig takes that. Systematically, he is cutting every single inmate. At least 90%. I don't know the statistics, but
Yeah.
it's high.
Yeah. I
You
know.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
He cuts everybody. So we're getting out worse off than we went in.
Mhm.
So why are you wondering why we're back?
Mhm.
You know why we're back.
Yeah.
Because you're not showing us another way and you're ensuring that we come back.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you want us to come back.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
So, what would you say to any youth that are out there listening?
Any youth out there listening, this is not the way to go. People talk about the money, the respect, the women, but they forget about the jail.
Loyalty.
Loyalty, but they forget about jail,
Mm.
right? Jail's a part of the game too,
Yeah.
right? And if you're like, it's not worth it. All this jail does is take, 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 and take. It leaves you with nothing. You know what I mean? And if I was a youth out there today, I just, stay in school, keep it real, stay smart, and avoid this place. Because this place will turn you into a different person, a person that you don't like. I can honestly say, I wake up in the morning and I look at myself, I do not look the person I see. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm working on that, but
Yeah.
it's a long, hard road. Because your help don't start when you go in there, right? Like, we're there for punishment, not as.
Yeah.
Once we get sentenced, our rehabilitation should start and our help. But it's continuous, it's progressive.
Mhm.
It don't ever stop. The sentence don't stop until you walk out the door. Like, we really should be getting help as we go in.
Mhm.
As Dr. Craig famously said in Jennings' trial for cut medication, he said, well, the H.M.P is a punitive environment, not a therapeutic one.
Mhm.
That's what he said as to why he's cutting meds.
Yeah.
So how can that man have his job after that? And how can the H.M.P say they take mental health serious, but at the same time sign that man's paycheck
Mhm.
after he said he's cutting medication as part of punishment?
That's part of the federal government.
He's not supposed to do that. He sees the need, he diagnosed, prescribed. He's not there to punish us. He's not part of security. He doesn't have to worry about medication being afforded or any of that stuff. You leave it up to the guards and the security and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's not him.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So he basically told the whole world and everyone that he's taking us to punish us. It's not fair.
No.
I would like to know what the statistics are of how many people that were harmed by people that were cut after
Mhm.
medication, after Dr. Craig cut him. How
Mhm.
many guards were harmed by mentally ill inmates after they cut him?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? What are statistics? How many people committed suicide after they were cut?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I never ever saw any numbers on that, but I would really love to.
Yeah.
So I bet you're astronomical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what goes on in there is the mental abuse is horrid. I mean, I still can't sleep. You know what I mean? I still spend a lot of nights up thinking about this place. When I drive by here, I drive by as quickly as I can.
Yeah.
If I had to come down here to like drop money out to one of the boys or pick clothes up at the gate, I just hate to come here. You know what I mean? I just get anxiety. Like even now, being close to this place.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's why it took me a few days to get here.
Yeah.
But I need to calm down. I need to speak. People need to know what's going on at H.M.P. You know what I mean? It's going on way too long.
Mhm.
Like a decade of darkness.
Yes.
This must be a decade of blindness.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It got to be worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I mean, shout out to Justin Jennings, yeah, Jake Ryan, guys, stay strong. I love you guys, and you know what I mean? Keep it real. Stay out of trouble. Try to keep yourself busy. You guys be out soon. I love you. I think about all you guys in there, and you know what I mean? Fight the fight. Fight the good fight. But you know what I mean? Do it the right way. Just keeping it real, but just keeping it smart. You know what I mean? The pen's mightier than a sword in this case. You know what I mean? So just be smart about it. Maybe we can make a difference.
That's right.
Well, I don't think violence is the answer in this case.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But unfortunately, sometimes at the H.M.P, the only time you can be heard is when you disrupt someone's day. You know what I mean? Like, I exhausted every avenue I had before I used to resort to that stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
sure the boys did too. It's a very scary place to be, and a very hopeless place to be. When I was in the shoe for 2+ years, I would go up every 30 days. I say, why am I in the shoe? And frankly, and Brophy would say, we can't tell you. I said, okay. What do I have to do to get back upstairs? Nothing. What can I do to alleviate my situation? Nothing. You know how hopeless that is?
Yeah.
To be told that for 2 years. 2 years not knowing nothing. Why you're there, when you're coming up, locking yourself 23 hours a day, mixed with the mentally ill. People are slicing their wrists, people are throwing their feces around, you know what I mean? On a daily basis. You know how hard that is?
I can't
Mentally
imagine.
wise? I mean, my heart just goes out there one at 10, and like, I just wish things changed down here. I really, truly do wish things would change.
Mhm.
For staff too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard on them too.
Yeah.
Let's not just make it about the inmates either, right?
Yeah.
But like, the staff live there too, right?
Mhm.
But but most important, I think, is the inmates, because we suffer the most. They get to go home at the end of the night. Just that mental mindset, knowing they get away from it, helps. We're there. We don't go. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm. All right. Well, thank you.
no, thank you for having me, and free to real.